Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel and welcome back to our video course on VECTR. Today's video is going to be a workshop, so we're going to show you every single thing that we learned in our video course by using it on a project. And today's video, we're going to create a logo for an Instagram page. So let's go to pages right here and let's go to our sizes. So as you can see, we can choose sizes from 4A0 to A10, and we can also use other sizes that are specifically made for social media, for example, Facebook cover, Facebook post. But as you can see, we do not have Instagram logo, we only have Instagram post and Instagram stories. So let's stick with Instagram post because it is a squared shape like this, so that we can create a circular logo inside it, and then we can export just the circular logo. So let's go ahead and start from the shape. So let's have a circle like this. Now let's press on Control in order to have our circle like this, and then we can put it in the center via using these guidelines. As you can see, these pink guidelines right here. Now let's change the color of our circle by looking at the filters window right here. So these are all the filters, so the shadow, the border, and the fills. So let's go on the fill and let's change the color. For example, as of now, we have a solid color right here, but we can change it to a radial gradient like this. So this is our gradient. Now let's click on this circular shape right here. And as you can see, we now have the three main points of our gradient. Each one of them has a different color. And our gradient is based off these three different points. And we can also add other points to this gradient. For example, we can add a point here and a point here like this. And then let's go ahead and change the color. So let's click on our first ring right here. And let's go to something bluish like this. Then let's go to our second one. We can go to something lighter like this. Then let's go on our third point right here and let's go for something more purple like this, for example. Then our fourth point, something along the lines of a fuchsia like this, a lighter one. And then the last one. So instead of black, we can go with something that is off-white like this. Okay, so this is our round shape. Now let's activate the border so that we can see it better. Let's change the color to a black. And of course, the logo is going to have its border based on the Instagram page. So don't you worry if you don't like this color. You can manage the size of the logo. You will not be able to see the border itself. So let's stick it with this. Now let's go ahead and insert an element here. So let's go here on elements. Let's create something based on one of these elements. As you can see, some of them have crowns on them because they are for the premium users of VECTR, but VECTR is once again an open website, as we saw in our earlier videos, and as such you can use it without even creating an account, let alone a premium account. So you can use it without spending any money. Of course, some of these options are going to be limited to premium accounts. Also, the use of AI features is only limited to premium members. Let's look for something related to our Instagram page. So for example, if we have a Bookstagram, so a page that talks about books, we can look up something like books or book, and then we can look for it. So as you can see, these ones are all premium, but we also have other that are non-premium. For example, we have this one right here. So let's trace it like this. Perfect. Now let's go to layers and let's lock this layer. So the layer for our circle like this, let's lock it. And then let's go ahead and modify this one book that we just uploaded from the elements that are shared on VECTR. So first of all, let's change the color of the fill. So we can have it something like purple like this. And we can also add a border. So right now the opacity is down to 0, so we do not see any borders, but we can also have a border like this with a darker color. So for example, a bluish color like this. Perfect. And then we can also add the shadow right here. So let's select the shadow. As of now it's black, but we can change it to fuchsia like this. and then we can go ahead and move it down the X offset and down the Y offset like this. And then we can also make it blurrier, so like this. Okay, so this is our book as of now. If you double click on it, as you can see all the nodes from this path. And we can go ahead and change some of it. For example, we can expand some nodes here to have all the book colored. So for example, we can have it filled like this with purple. And then we can go here on the bookmark and we can change its shape as we wish. So for example, we can make it longer like this. And remember that you can also change the lines. So for example, this one is a straight line. If you double click on one of the nodes, it will become round like this. So you can change it however you want it, or you can double click on it again and make it straight again like this. And then you can go ahead and create the bookmark that you want like this. We just changed the shape of our bookmark. As you can see, this is our new book that we just modified. And then we can also add a text. So let's go on text right here and let's add a text frame. Okay, so let's create a title for our page, for example, periwinkle like this. And then we can go on the filters right here on the left and we can change the font. So for example, we can have something more elegant like OleoScript like this. And then we can also have it bold. Some of these scripts have just regular or just bold, but this one has both, so that we can choose. And then we can change its size like this. So we can have it bigger like this, so that it fits our logo and it's really visible. Perfect. And then we can change its color. So for example, we can have it white like this, and we can also add a border. So for example, we can add a white border like this. But let's create something more peculiar. So we can have a picture that is going to fill our title. So let's click on this button right here, outline text. As of now, if I double click on our text frame, you'll see all the nodes of this path right here. And I can also change them manually so that I can create my own font if I want to. But the main feature that we're going to use is right here on fill. So instead of color, we're going to fill it with an image. Let's click here and let's upload a picture from our computer. Okay, so I just uploaded this picture right here, which is periwinkle. So periwinkle flowers. So let's double click on this. As you can see right here, I have this square, which I'm going to use for resizing the picture in order to have it fit our title like this. I can also change position and its dimension so that I can have the flowers on all the title like this, as you can see like this. Then we can also maybe have the border a bit bigger so that we can see the flowers underneath like this. Now let's center the title and let's lock it. So let's lock it. Let's also lock the book. And now let's add something with the same green as these leaves. So let's go to the pen tool. So we're going to create a path. So let's click and then let's have another click. In order to have a curve, you have to press on the second node and then regulate the curve as you wish, like this. And then you can create your own curve like this. And then let's do the same on the other side. So pen tool, and then let's create a curve. So this is our two curves. As you can see, if I double click on one of them, I have all these nodes and I can add other nodes to them or just delete them. For example, I can delete this one like this. And I can also add another node. I can also go ahead and change the curve as I wish. So for example, I can make it a bit similar to the other like this. And then let's go ahead and change the colors. So let's click on one of them. Let's go to filters, let's go to borders and let's change the color. Let's use this instrument right here to select the color from our picture right here. So this green, for example. Perfect. Now let's make it a bit bigger like this. Now let's go on the other one and let's select the color that we just used for this line right here. So this green. Perfect. And now let's have it at the same size as the other. So 4 like this. So these two, okay. Now let's add something more, for example, a leaf. So let's go to elements. Let's look for leaf. Now let's select the three options. For example, this one right here. Now, if you press on the right button and you go to ungroup, you'll have separate groups that made up this element. So for example, you have this one, which is one of the patterns on the leaf, and you also have another pattern right here, another pattern, and then the main shape. So for example, let's distance the main pattern from the leaf like this in order to create this design right here. Now let's select them both like this, and let's group them. So right now we can move them together. So let's go ahead and change the color of this leaf right here, and let's select the color that we just used for our paths. Perfect. Now border. Okay, perfect. Now let's select them both. Let's group them like this, group. Okay, now let's copy it and let's paste it. So then now we have two of them like this. We can maybe make it a bit smaller like this. Then we can do the same with the other one. And then we can flip it horizontally like this, so that right now they are specular one to the other. Now let's position them as we want them. So for example, we can have them like this. Let's select them both and let's group them so that right now we can move them together by doing this. So we can put it right here. Now let's go to layers. Let's go on the last group. So this one, let's lock it. Let's also lock the two lines. Let's go to the book and then let's unlock it so we can make it a bit smaller, a bit to the left like this. Maybe let's go back to the group and let's have it in the center like this. And this is our logo. So right now for our last part, let's export it. So go to here to export. Okay. As you can see, we have no background. We just have the logo that we just made like this. This is because we can export it as an SVG. We can also export it as a PNG. So the same like this, so that you just are going to have this logo and you can have it as your Instagram logo of your Instagram page. And you can also export it as a JPEG if you want the Y Canva on which we created the logo, and it has the exact measurements of an Instagram post because that is the size that we chose for our document. That's it for our workshop. I thank you all for watching our video course on VECTR. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and please subscribe to our channel if you want to stay updated on our next video courses.